Am I the meanest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the prettiest?
Pawn's drunk.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Pawn's drunk.
Well, who am I?
Pawn's drunk.
Who am I?
Pawn's drunk.
I can't hear you.
Pawn's drunk. AKA Mr. Moo Woo Shine himself.
Of Harlem.
You already know this is Pawn, Drunk, Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moo Shine himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. El Borracho. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you at this side of heaven. God bless you all. Yeah, you read the title to see the thumbnail. And I know there's going to be people out there going to be like, yo, but Keith Thurman ducked Errol Spence for a long time. But Keith Thurman ain't want to fight Errol Spence. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Ain't done nobody. Keith Thurman ain't done nobody, man. Hey, yo, shout out to the Boxing Voice, Ness and the crew with a great interview with Keith on Tom Thurman earlier. Great interview, like always. And look. I understand people did want to see that fight. I wanted to see that fight. But this whole overly exaggeration of ducking, he ducked Errol Spence. And I did a video one time, a long video. When did he legitimately duck? Oh, when he picked Josecito Lopez after the get back here? Really? That's when he ducked him? Or when he fought Manny Pacquiao? Then would he pick who's not gonna pick Manny Pacquiao if they got him on the table? Huh? When he was injured and stuff like that throughout the 2 years, or when Floyd Mayweather called him out, when he wasn't even ranked in the top 15. When? Tell me when. Man, I don't give a damn. You know and I know. You know and I know that the biggest fight in the PBC and the most luxury fight in the PBC is Keith on Tom Thurman versus Errol Spence. I don't care if you're going to be like, hey, but he ducked him first, so I'm not going to fight him now. Because when I wanted to fight you, you ain't wanted to fight me. Get out of here. Stop it. Shout out to King Tech. Mr. Popo in the building. Johnny, what's good? Whiskey in the building, what's good? Refrain. Carlo, Bacho, Sergio, Danny, what's good? Texas in the building. Lisa Bell, the queen, baby. Nas, Mr. Bo, Danny. Oh, yeah. Giuseppe. That's the way. JD, is that you? You should have been fired. Is that the real JD? Is that Wilder's trainer? JD? Is that you? I know. Ed, what's good? NL. Newark in the building. Yeah, what's good, my brother? Tri-state area. But before we get into that, into the thumbnail, into the Keith on Tom Thurman, Errol Spence, y'all already know. This weekend we're gonna be having Jamal Herring versus Warren. Is it Warrington? Frampton. I was thinking about Warrington. I didn't even know why I was thinking about Warrington. What's good, Angel? Shadow Ghost in the building. What's good, Mark? What's good? Yeah, Frampton versus Jamal Herring. That's going to be a good fight. And the second fight of Keyshawn Davis, one of the phenom in the sport of boxing, Keyshawn Davis, going to be in the undercard as well. Damn, I wanted to ask him a question. He's going to be fighting in the top rank card, right? I want to know how that worked. I know he signed a Matchroom Boxing. I want to know how that worked. Thurman is bigger than Ugas. Of course, you all know. And shout out to Jordanis Ugas. Jordanis Ugas must be really bone drunk. Really. Yo estoy en posición ahora mismo para pelear con este tipo. Ahora tú estás hablando de que Keith Thurman and Errol Spence. Eh? Now I'm in position and you still want to put me in the back burner. Eh? Come on. So Cubano, maybe salsa right here. What happened, Punch Drunk? Eh? Now I'm in position with the Keith Thurman to talk. You don't want to talk about me. Eh? You want to talk about Keith and Errol Spence. What Keith gonna give to Errol Spence? I got something that Errol Spence want. Talk about me. uh, what's good, Jones? What's good, Jones? What's up with that guy Thurman? He looking too big. I mean, man, I think it's a PBC thing. You know, they most of them look big, man. Most of them look big. Pause. Most of them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. And the only thing that I was like cringy about the interview was when Keith Thurman was talking about the dates. The dates, like, yo, PBC, what's going on with the dates, man? Like, I know you got, look, the fighters in the PBC, I know y'all happy. What's good, Shelton? I know y'all pound for pound boxing. What's good, Ron? Yo, Javier, I know y'all happy making PBC money. But it's like almost like they're exchanging the purse and blatantly throwing out their legacy. Like, F the legacy. Like, you could get your purse and still get the legacy, but I think with PBC right now, they just throwing out the legacy. Like, F the legacy. I don't give a damn. Like a lot of people make fun of this guy. A lot of people like to criticize the likes of Adrian Broner. But Adrian Broner was telling the world in the post-fight interview that he had in his last fight, he's pleading, where's the date? Keep me busy. Please, keep me busy. It's almost like he's pleading with the folks, keep me busy. The Charlos got no date. Keith Thurman got no date. Errol Spence got no date. We don't know when Sean Porter gonna be fighting. We got Andy Ruiz, yeah. But what are the dates? These guys are not gonna stay in the gym for a whole year. They not. So I understand that these guys get big. It's almost, you remember that I said this, and I said this a lot of times. Do you remember when Errol Spence? Do you remember when Errol Spence had the interview when he came back, right? And he said that he went the interview when he was talking about that he was self-destructing, right? And he was talking about that, oh, I got like 8 months. I got a lot of things. I got too much free time. Like, you could tell in the PBC that it's not even about that there's no date. There is no strategy. There is no, okay, yo, even with Floyd Mayweather, with all that money, there was a strategy. You're going to be fighting in May. You're going to fight in September. You're going to have 2 fights a year. But these guys, they don't even know what's the plan. They don't even know. Even with Canelo Alvarez, everybody know Canelo Alvarez is going to fight in Cinco de Mayo. And then he's going to go fight in September. We know his schedule. Like, we know it. And even when the people were so mad about the Yearjun fight, we still knew his schedule. These guys has no schedule. Keith Thurman said today, be like, what? I'm not going to stay in the gym all day. You know what I'm saying? That's not good. Like, I don't want a fighter to stay in the gym all day, but they don't even know the plan. And okay, maybe he's not telling us the plan, but it seems like he's been, he said that he's been out. And it has nothing to do with the injury. It has to do with the dates. Everything has to do with the dates. And right now, we all talking about that the PBC has no date for nobody. How can you keep these guys hungry? How can you keep these guys in shape? I mean, Adrian Broner staying, but I'm going to say it like this. There's a lot of people. I feel there's a lot of fighters out there that is actually, they're actually frustrated with their position right now, but they don't want to burn the bridge right now. But I know there's a lot of people, a lot of fighters in a PBC banner that are kind of frustrated that they're not out there and fighting. They also was talking about Florida. You already know that Keith Thurman is from Florida. Florida's wide open. Where is the date for Keith Thurman? Where is it? So I just think that, look, Al Haymon. Yo, I'm a person, I don't critique Al. because I understand Al Haymon. I understand Al Haymon's position. I understand Al Haymon's position. He's a manager. He's an advisor. He don't give a damn about you and me. That's not his job to give a damn about you and me. You feel me? It's not Al Haymon's job to care about you and I. It's not. It's just like if I have a financial advisor, he don't give a damn about you. If I have a financial advisor, he don't even give a damn about he don't give a damn about my wife or kids. He only care about me. He want to advise me. And that's Al Haymon. Remember, Al Haymon don't hire them. They hire Al Haymon. I just feel like they have put 100% trust on Al that they just throwing their legacy away. These guys is in their prime right now. Are you tired of boxers saying, well, yeah, probably next year I want to fight 3 times a year? Shut up. It sounds like a broken record. None of y'all want to fight no 3 times a year. Yeah, next year, I just looking for 2 to 3 fights a year. That's what I want to do. They all say the same shit. You don't want no goddamn 2, 3 fights a year. And if these guys are bosses and if these guys are bosses and if these guys are free agent, this is why PBC fighters get a lot of criticism, because these are the fighters that go out there and tell the world that I am my own boss. I am my own boss. So when the fight don't happen, it's your fault. If you ain't fighting, it's your fault, because you went out there and told the whole world that you're your own boss. Yeah, at the end of the day, when the question gets tough and they can't answer the tough questions, I need to call Al. Yeah, when the question gets tough, I need to call Al. No. You say you a boss. I don't want to hear that you want to call Al. If I'm speaking to the owner, I don't want to talk to the manager. Feel me? If I'm speaking to James Dolan from the Knicks, I don't want to talk to I don't want to talk to the damn to James Dolan manager. That's it. I'm talking to the boss. I am talking to the boss. So even when people talking about the Errol Spence versus the Terrence Crawford and there's people out there that be like Buck Crawford don't want to fight, and vice versa, right? I'm looking at Errol Spence more the fault for that fight not happening. You know why? Because he was the one that said that he's his own boss. He was the one that said that I am my own boss, and Buck Crawford, you got to answer to Bob Arum. So I'm looking at the boss. I've been keeping it consistent with every fighter that says I'm a boss. If you a boss, then we're talking to the boss. Don't tell me, or let's say when Charlo, I'm my own boss. I'm my own boss. Well, you got to speak to Al Haymon. No, I don't want to talk to Al Haymon. I'm talking to the goddamn boss. Forget Al Haymon. Hey, matter of fact, we ain't never going to see Al Haymon. There's only 3 Google pictures of Al Haymon. We didn't even know the guy Al Haymon is true. It's real. It's no hate. It's none of that. But I'm gonna take your word. You a boss. You tell the whole world you a boss. Then I want to do that when you talking to the boss. See, I don't get into the Buck Crawford or Errol Spence mess and who should fight who. Yeah, and a 60-40 and 70-30. You the boss. You tell me what the 70-30 look like. You just don't say 70-30. Tell me what the 60-40 look like. Don't just be saying 60-40. If you ain't gonna take half, tell me what the half look like. Danny in the building was good. Houston, Texas in the building. I fucks with the channel. Good looking now. Danny Carl was good. Good looking now. God bless you, my brother. Shout out to Houston, Texas. The city of Booker T, baby. Booker T. I thought I was going to say Charlo. Nah, Booker T. Booker T, Harlem Heat, baby. Let's go. Stevie Ray. Booker T. Yeah. Woo, good looking out. God bless, bro. Punch is toxic, despises other channels, and goes the other way. Javier Lopez. Punch is toxic. He spies other channels and goes the other way. Ooh. Ooh, Javier Lopez. The hell is this freak talking about? Anyway, social media is the new ring of boxing. Booker T. Yes, yes, yes. So, smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. Smash the like button, baby. So if you're gonna say you're a boss, then people gonna hold you. They're gonna hold on to those words. And that's why sometimes people be like, yo, in the lightweight division, Lisa the Queen. Shout out to Uptown Punch Wrong Boxing. Yes, thank you very much. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Mr. Moonshine. Speaking facts. Yes. Yes, sir. NL. There's on so many days and a lot of boxing top ranks. Some of them PBC, no dates, no boxing. Thank you, Lisa. God bless you, Queen. God bless you. I appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. It's like when people be like, yo, when we talk about the lightweight division, you be like, man, you being too hard on Devin Haney. I'm not being too hard. He just said that he's a boss, so I'm gonna hold you to it. Just like I hold other promoters to it, right? Just like we like to criticize the top rank of the world. Hold on. Just like we like to criticize the top rank of the world, right? Just like we criticize Eddie Hearn of the world because they are the promoters. Just like we criticize Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotion, because they're the promoters. Well, these guys in the PBC, they all basically most of them are their own promotion. Why we don't blame them? When I'm going to blame you, you're going to call yourself a boss. If something ain't happening, I'm going to be like, yo, why, boss, why things ain't happening? If you the boss, why you ain't giving out the contract? I don't want to hear that, well, the top rank is not pouring out the contract. You say you a boss. How about you? This is why when people be like, they mad at Keith or whatever, I'm not mad at Keith because Keith actually acted like the boss. Keith actually sent the contract. Did we ever hear about Errol Spence sending any contract to Buck Crawford the way that we heard Keith Thurman and his representatives send the contract to Top Rank? Have we? Have we ever heard Errol Spence send the contract to Top Rank the way that Keith Thurman and his representatives send the contract to Top Rank? See, I keep it consistent. You send the contract, I believe in your call out. You don't send nothing, I don't believe in call outs. Call outs is nothing. I could call anybody out. And boxing is all about the paperwork. Paperwork. See, for example, when the Haney showed the term sheet to that they want to fight Gary Russell Jr., I believe that's the way the bosses move. You said you want 1.5, I got 1.5. Here you go. What you gonna do about that? Feel me? You feel me? So that's how I think, bro. If I'm gonna hold anybody accountable, I'm gonna hold the bosses. So y'all remember when Errol Spence stepped up to Buck Crawford, he was saying he's the boss. He don't answer to nobody, but then later on he said that Al this, Al that. And I think this is what's happening. I think, and I did a video about this, I think that to get out the you know, when it's getting too heated, well, you gotta ask Al. Well, I thought you were the boss. I thought y'all were the boss. What do you mean I gotta ask Al? I'm asking you. You supposed to be the one that's telling Al what to do. He's the manager. You're the boss. I'm tired of hearing that phrase. Well, I gotta call Al Haymon. No, man. Stop putting everything on Al Haymon. You are the boss. Or you should go back to what fighters used to say. The terminology that fighters used to say. I fight whoever they put in front of me. Remember all the fighters used to say that? Yo, why you don't fight this? Look, I only fight the fighters that they put in front of me. In that sense, it tells me that he is not in control of who he fights. So the accountability and the responsibility and the critique is going to go to the promoter. Right? I only fight whoever they put in front of me. If the PBC fighters say that, then you know what? All right, y'all not bosses. Y'all know y'all not the boss. Y'all know Al Haymon is the one that calls the shots. You know he's the one that moves the pieces. Y'all don't move without Al Haymon. This is why y'all waiting on dates. Who is the guy that's going to tell you when is the day to go? Who's the guy that's going to tell you to jump and you jump? Who's the one that's going to tell you to sit down and you sit down? Who's the one that's going to tell you you sit down for a whole year, you're not going to fight because I haven't found no date for you? But you know that Triller called me, shut it up. You're not going to be fighting. I think that's the way that, I don't know. Maybe Al Haymon has a hold on these guys, bro. I do not know. I think that Al Haymon has a strong hold on these guys, that he's the type to be like, well, you know, yo, Al, you know, my career, I'm getting, oh, shut it up. Sit your ass down and you gonna wait on the day. You gonna fight when I tell you to fight. Come on, Al, man, I know you give me, don't I give you good money? Huh? Don't I give you a good purse? Huh? Don't I look out for you? Huh? Haven't I shown you how to invest your money? Huh? I know, but I'm just saying, you know, I don't want to stay. Goddamn, shut the hell up. Sit your ass down. You ain't gonna fight the whole year. I think that's he gotta have some type of pull. Some type of pull. Because also in the same thing, they love him. They love him. You say something about Al, they be like, what? It's like Al, yo, they thank Al before they thank God. They thank Al before they thank God. I want to give a shout out to Al Haymon and Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. I want to thank God to Al Haymon for what he's done. And then I want to give thanks to the God Almighty and my kids. And Al comes first. You even hear Sam Watson. You know when the fight ends, Sam Watson is the guy that tells you, hey, when the camera comes on, thank Al Haymon, thank this, and the fighter be like, okay, right after the fight, okay. Shit, I want to thank Al Haymon, I want to thank Showtime, and then I want to thank God. They all waiting for dates. Please. You heard Adrian Broner said he's waiting for dates. He might go to ESPN, he might go to Triller, but I'm loyal. Al did something to these dudes, bro. Al said, you will not care about legacy. You would not care about your legacy. Fuck your legacy. It's all about the purse. And they like, yeah. Yes. You would do as I say. Yes, okay. I don't care about legacy. I don't care about legacy. You fuck being an undisputed champion. Fuck being an undisputed champion. Forget about fighting 2 to 3 times a year. I will not fight 2 to 3 times a year. And they forget about their own legacy, bro. They forget about their own Matt, what's good, bro? Al probably got pictures on them, all on them, tapes of therapy session. They never needs to do a show escaping the PBC. Yo, that's true, man. Yo, that's true. Like, you know, remember they did, I think there was a Netflix show on like Orthodox Jews. Like when the women trying to escape or the men trying to escape the Orthodox Jew or whatever it is, right? When they they need to do that shit. They need to do that shit. Excuse my language. They need to do that. They be like, man, I want to leave. Man, I don't know how. I think that PBC is like, you know what I'm saying? Then, you know, no disrespect, you know what I'm saying, to the ladies out there. But, you know, there's some not bitter ladies, but, you know, ladies that have been taken advantage of and they just don't know how to leave their relationship, you know? And they in their sister circle talking on the phone and stuff like that. You know how girls, you know, you heard it, so you know how girls is and stuff like that. Yo, girl, what's good? You know what I'm saying? She like that. Why you sound like that? Why you sound like that? I'm not happy. Why you ain't happy? Is he treating you bad again? Why you just don't leave him? Why you just don't leave him? I just don't know. I don't know how to approach things, you know? When he's not in the house, just leave. I don't know. I'm just scared, you know? Because, you know, he's done so much for me, you know? Leave, girl. Leave. He's trapping you. He ain't holding you down. He's holding you down. I'm saying, because I love him. And because I love him. These guys just don't want to go. Sometimes I'm going to tell you like this, y'all. I'm going to tell you like this. Yo, you could be too loyal for your own good. Transcendent Sports channel in the building. Everybody subscribe to Transcendent Sport. What's good, my brother? Long time no see, my friend. Tell him, Lisa, smash the like button. Edward Saludo, Dallas, Texas in the building. You know? I think you could be too loyal for your own good. If Spence fight Ugas, Thurman never will fight Spence. I think this, though. And I think this. That is about, when PBC thinks about money. It's prize fighting to them. It's pride. They think about the money. And I'm going to tell you like this. Regardless how people may not like may not like Keith von Tom Thurman. I've been frustrated with Keith von Tom Thurman. And look, yes. I am a huge fan of Keith von Tom Thurman. Yes. I don't hide it. I'm a huge fan of Keith von Tom Thurman. But I need to criticize Keith von Tom Thurman. I criticize him. When I see that they overly criticize Keith von Tom Thurman, I'm like, oh, wait, just 1 minute there. Rap Star Boxing Knowledge in the building. Subscribe to Rap Star Boxing Knowledge. Subscribe to Raw Boxing TV. Subscribe to those folks immediately. So, I think you could be loyal to too loyal for your own good, and you know what it is. I think that's also a trait for the people that was less fortunate. You know, that comes from the backgrounds from community, just like a lot of us. You know, and then we make it out. We're so loyal to the people that probably helped us get out from that. You know, that has helped us or whatever. What's good? Sazón, ya tú sabes. You know. I think that's what it is. We're too loyal for our own good sometimes. And that also could be detrimental. Sometimes people don't want to leave. If you're in a relationship, you don't want to leave because you feel like that lady or for the woman, that husband have helped you out so much. And you're like, I'm not in love no more, but damn, I can't leave, man. Too loyal. Or when you're too loyal to a friend that knows that he's in your circle, or she in your circle, but they can't do nothing for you. Like you grow out of your friends, but you got to be too loyal, right? For example, I think that Wilder's too loyal to JD. I think him being too loyal is actually detrimental to his career from the outside looking in. Him being too loyal is actually been detrimental to him. If you ain't feel like Mark Breland was a good trainer, you was too loyal to Mark Breland. If you feel you need to stay with JD, you know what I'm saying? Probably you just too loyal for your own good. And sometimes that's detrimental to your own career. Right now, PBC fighters like a Keith von Tom Thurman, like Adrian Broner, like these other guys, they're too loyal for their own good. They think that the purse is everything. If you go for legacy, legacy will always reign supreme. Legacy is your unlimited purse. Your legacy is the one that's gonna give you that type of money. That's gonna bring that type of money that your kids and your kids' kids is gonna capitalize from. Legacy should always reign supreme. This is why you see these fighters, in which there's a lot of people that's happy. There's a lot of people that be like, yo, why these fighters are coming back? They too old to fight. Why Holyfield? Why Mike Tyson? Why Roy Jones Jr.? Why Julio Cesar Chavez? And why Cotto Marquez is happening? Why? You know why? Because they could capitalize off their legacy anytime they want because they built that. That's what legacy does. You think that Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. did 1.6 million. Why? Because they left a legacy that they could always capitalize. Mike Tyson could go and do drugs and go bankrupt and he'll rise back up. You know why? Because his legacy will always reign supreme. He will never be broke because his legacy always reigns supreme. These fighters don't think like that. They just chasing one purse at a time. One freaking purse. They'll throw their whole career. They'll throw their whole prime year for 1 or 2 purses because their ceiling is just too low. Their ceiling is man low. You know what I think? That they didn't think that they could make the type of money. This is why they praise Al Haymon so much, because they think they never could have found anybody else. They didn't believe in themselves. They believing more in Al Haymon than they believe in their own worth. That's what it is. And this is why they stay with Al Haymon. This is why they stay. I'm not saying that Al is bad. I'm not. Because he's doing a job and putting funds in their pocket. But in terms of legacy, I don't think he's doing a good job. In terms of legacy, no, he's not doing a good job. He's not. But it's not his business. That's not the business of Al Haymon. That's not the business of Al Haymon. The business of Al Haymon is to get these guys as much money as they can. Doesn't matter who they fight. It doesn't matter. That's the way it look like. And I'm not saying that these other guys don't have great resumes. Sean Porter got one of the best resumes in the sport of boxing. Keith Thurman still got one of the best resumes in the sport of boxing. Errol Spence still got one of the best resumes in the welterweight division. I'm not gonna knock it. I'm not gonna knock it. But the timeline of it, like, these guys should be very well, like, you know, if they able to fought each other, in which they've been fighting each other in the welterweight division. But it's timely. It's like, there's certain fights that just could have manifested better. Hold on. For example, if Deontay Wilder would have stood in Golden Boy Promotions, we would have seen an undisputed with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Think about it. Just think about legacy. Just think about it. For example, Deontay Wilder won his belt versus who? Thurman. When? 2015. Under who? Golden Boy Promotions. That was the last fight he had with Golden Boy Promotions. Did Deontay Wilder ever had a unification bout after that? In 5 years, did he have any unification bouts? In 5 years, did he have any unification bouts? What the hell is Gary Russell doing? These guys, Gary Russell Jr. had the skills and talent to right now be pound for pound top 5. That's how good he is. Gary Russell Jr. is 32, 33 years old. His career is almost done. For what? For Al? A special talent, and I'm not talking about special. I'm talking about a special. Gary Russell Jr. is a freaking special talent, bro. A special talent. 32, 33 years old. Charlo, how many unification bouts does he have? Jamal Charlo. That at this stage of his career, his best opponent up to date is Sergey Derevchenko. Today, his best opponent at the age of what? How old is Jamal Charlo? Jamal Charlo got to be what, 32, 33? His best opponent up to date at 32, 33 years old from where he started is Sergey Derevchenko, which is not even a champion. Sergey Derevchenko that's known for losing the big ones. That's it. That's his best opponent. And let me tell you something about Andy Ruiz, because some people are going to be like, what about Andy Ruiz? As soon as he got with Al, he became heavyweight champion of the world. Let me tell you like that. They sacrificed Andy Ruiz. Ain't nobody thought that Andy Ruiz with 1 month, one month to prepare for Anthony Joshua. They threw Andy Ruiz in there. They threw him in there, gave him a good pay, but threw him in there. Don't think that they believe in Andy Ruiz like that. I don't think so. Because if they actually did believe in Andy Ruiz, they would have never put no Andy Ruiz in less than a month to fight Anthony Joshua. Remember, they wanted to put Luis Ortiz. They said, no, get this guy. I'll give you a good payday, Andy Ruiz. We don't believe that you're going to win. Throw him out there. That's what they did. And Andy Ruiz surprised everybody. Andy Ruiz surprised everybody. But don't think that they really trusted Andy Ruiz that was going to beat Anthony Joshua with just 1 month layoff. Had to prepare in 1 month. Nah. Andy was sacrificed. He just passed the test that nobody thought they was going to pass. That's like Teofimo Lopez versus Vasily Lomachenko. Bob Arum ain't think that Teofimo Lopez was going to be Vasily Lomachenko. This is why Bob Arum gave the Lopez the middle finger in the post fight conference. This is why they mad. They effed up their investment. They didn't think that T.O. was going to beat Lomachenko. PBC ain't think Andy Ruiz was going to beat Anthony Joshua. Yeah, they gave him money, but they didn't think he was going to beat him. Look at these. Look at these special talent. Gary Russell Jr. When is he going to fight? He still don't got a date. When is Gary Russell Jr. going to fight? Ray Vargas, when? When is he going to fight? Gervonta Tank Davis is getting good money. But he had weight problems. Spence had weight problems. Thurman had weight problems. Andy Ruiz had weight problems. Shit, I'm going to say it right here. And yeah, they was dealing with Al Haymon, but I'm going to tell you like this. When there was with Golden Boy Promotions, these guys had accomplishment. They might not have been getting the money that they wanted, but if they would have stood, they probably would have get that type of money. Adrian Broner became a 3-division world champion under Golden Boy Promotions. Under Golden Boy Promotions, Danny Garcia ranked up one of the best resumes in the sport of boxing, beating Lucas Matisse, beating Amir Khan. Seems to me when these guys was chilling with Golden Boy, they was under Golden Boy Promotion, they accomplished more. Oh yeah, they got money now. But your prime career, some of these guys, your accomplishment came under Golden Boy Promotions. Thank you, Oscar de la Hoya. Because if it goes to Golden Boy Promotions, maybe Deontay Wilder would have never been a champion. Probably he would never get a shot because he didn't get a shot at unification bout. He did it. So, let's talk about the Thurman and Spence. Thurman, Keith, one Tom Thurman, is probably the guy in the PBC that they looked up to start everything off for them. NBC, ESPN, CBS. He ranked the best pay-per-view numbers aside from he got the best pay-per-view numbers in the PBC banner. He sold out the Barclays Center. Keith and Tom Thurman never disappointed any network. Any network, Keith and Tom Thurman delivered. Before the 4.2 million views for the Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez fight, which fight had the most views? Keith and Tom Thurman versus Josecito Lopez, a fight that was barely even promoted. He didn't have another dancing partner to get those numbers. He did great numbers with Josecito Lopez for Fox. That did better numbers than Charlo and Harrison, which they promote the hell out of. Did better numbers than Ugas and Porter. Keith and Tom Thurman delivers. They know that. It's business. So, the most luxury fight in PBC, the biggest fight in PBC, is still Keith and Tom Thurman and Errol the Truth Spence. Are they going to pass on that? Now, accomplishment-wise, Ugas versus Errol Spence is the fight to make. But looking at the PBC, they don't put up the fights that needs to be made, really. In a timely order. They put the fight that they can make money off. In PBC, Keith and Tom Thurman and Errol Spence is the biggest fight for PBC. Already a couple of monkey wrench has been thrown. They can't afford to let that fight go. Especially now that they don't know they're going to sign with Fox. We don't know. I don't know. Is Fox going to re-up that contract? Because it doesn't seem to me that they're doing anything great for ratings with Fox. The last good ratings was Keith and Tom Thurman and Josecito Lopez. Keith and Tom Thurman goes Guerrero, NBC. Keith and Tom Thurman, CBS, primetime, Danny Garcia. Almost 4 or 5 million views. Keith and Tom Thurman delivers more to the networks than anybody else in PBC. So, a fight with Thurman and Errol Spence will be just as big, I think, than Bud and Pac. What y'all think? There's a question out there. I'm not saying I'm wrong or right. I'm not saying I'm wrong or right. Is Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence as big as Pac and Bud? There's going to be one guy that's going to promote it. Let's not take away that Keith and Tom Thurman is probably one of the best promoters, meaning self-promotion boxer in the sport of boxing. I will rank Tyson Fury and Keith and Tom Thurman as the best talker in boxing. I think Pac and Bud is bigger. It could be. I'm not saying it won't. All I'm saying is Keith one time, just look at the buildup. It'll be two good buildups, but there's gonna be one guy that's gonna promote the shit out of it. We know Keith one time Thurman, and we know that this fight has been marinated for a while. I'll put it this way: same time, same day. Right now, everybody answer in the chat. Same time, same day. Bud Crawford versus Manny Pacquiao. Errol Spence versus Keith one time Thurman. Who you watching? Same time, same day. Who you watching? Put on the comment box. Let's see. Put on the comment box. Who you watching? Same time, same day. If it happens same time, same day, Bud Crawford versus Pac. Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman. Let me give it a minute. Pac versus Carlos. Pac versus Bud. Not even close. Crazy. Errol versus Thurman. Guido. Pacquiao versus Crawford. Pound for pound. Pac versus Bud. Bud versus Pac. Thurman versus Spence. No question. Bud. Tyco TV. Errol versus Thurman. Both. No, Dragon. One. You got to pick one. Same time, man. Same time. No TV there. No. One. Pac versus Bud. Derek. Pac versus Bud. Alex. Lisa. Bud versus Pac. DJ Saddam. Pac versus Bud. Yeah, I think I'm seeing. Oh, Jason. Key versus Earl. He said I would take one though. I had to watch both split screen. Nah, rap star. No, one. I'm giving you the old 1989 TV. Ain't no split screen TV. Sama, Pac versus Crawford. The F, Bud versus Pac, the guy. Bud versus Pac. Pac versus Bud. Thurman versus Spence will be a really good fight. I'm seeing more Pac versus Crawford, but Pac versus Bud is destined to be fight. Spence Thurman might never break out into a fight. No. We're not saying it might not happen. Let's say if it does happen on the same day, same time. No ifs. If it does happen, same day, same time, you got to pick one. Who you watching? Mr. Cheese, what's good? Come on, man.
You better not duck me, son. Come
on, man. Ain't nobody promoting like that guy. How about you, Punch? What you watching if you had to pick? Tyco TV. Who I'm watching if I had to pick? Woo! To be honest, Keith and Spence. I'm watching Keith and Spence. I'll be honest. You know why I watch Keith and Spence? This is why I will watch Keith and Spence. That's just me. But I'll be sad that I won't watch Bud and Pac. I'll watch Keith and Spence because with the Bud and Pac, if Pac loses, it's not a loss. It's not a hit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, he's old. You know, he's dead. People gonna come with a bunch of excuses. You know, oh, if he beats Pac, if he beats Bud, then that's big. It's big. I think I'm more geared. I will watch Thurman and Spence if I had to pick one. Punch, I would have wanted the fight years ago. I used to think Keith would beat Spence back then when he was active. Punch, you gotta give shine to my man, Crazy D3 coming here, part-time Thurman. Facts, I'm watching Pac-Man versus Bud. Pac still a legend. Pac is always gonna be a legend. Yo, Punch, Keith Thurman is still pussy whip. Punch, drum boxing. You don't want to see Pac go to sleep. I seen him go to sleep. You see, I seen him. I already seen him go to sleep. And if Bud sleeps, Pac, People gonna be, come on, he's 40. People, all right, look at this. Look at this, though. Look at this. See, some of the people are saying, yo, but Keith Thurman had a layoff. Manny Pacquiao had a layoff. Y'all crazy. Get out of here. Y'all know y'all won't be yawning. Y'all crazy. Y'all are crazy. Like, no, I understand. There's no right answer. I understand. Bud is Bud, bro. Manny Pacquiao. The great, the GOAT, Manny Pacquiao. But a fight that I've been wanting to see that is interesting to me, and I'm like, gotta pick two. And the build up to it, I'm picking Thurman Spence. I will see Thurman Spence. But that's just me. I will be impressed if Bud beats Pac, honestly. I would be impressed. But are you impressed, Johnny? Would you be impressed if Bud beat Spence because Pac beat Thurman? And now you're looking at Thurman, Pac's last performance beating Thurman, you'd be like, okay, he's still up there. Like Manny Pacquiao, like I said it once before, he's immortal. Manny Pacquiao can't do no wrong. Manny Pacquiao, even if he gets knocked out, he's still gonna have the loyal fans. Manny Pacquiao is cemented already. Manny Pacquiao can't lose. See, that's what I mean. With Manny Pacquiao, he can't lose. Not meaning that he can physically lose. I'm saying Manny Pacquiao can lose. Even if Bud Crawford beats him, they're gonna be like he was supposed to beat him. At the age of 42, he was supposed to, for age of 42, 2-year layoff, you supposed to beat him. So I don't want to hear people also say, well, Keith Thurman had 2-year layoff. He's in activity. Manny Pacquiao's in activity, plus he's 42 years old. So if Bud beats him, you think it's going to be a highly surprise? Are you going to be surprised if Bud, that is probably one of the most seasoned fighters, he lives in the gym, you think you'll be surprised if Bud beats Pac? If people are surprised if Bud beats Pac, that means that nobody really think that this era of welterweights is any that good. If somebody is surprised that Bud beats Pac after 2-year layoff in his age, surprise? I don't know. Bud versus winner of Taylor versus Romero. Honestly, I will always Team T, but compare Berto. I like Thurman Crawford. His Pac versus Thurman fight was close, and Bud would beat the mess out of Pac. I don't know, man. I don't know if anybody would beat the mess out of anybody, bro. I think Pac could do the same thing to Bud that Thurman did. See, for me, nobody in the welterweight division is head and shoulders above anybody. See, for me, nobody in the top, in the elite welterweight division, nobody's head above shoulders anybody for me. I think anybody could beat anybody, in my opinion. I think if Porter fights Spence in a rematch, I think Porter could beat Spence. I think Spence could beat Porter. I think Porter could beat Thurman. I think Thurman could beat Porter. I think Bud could lose to Porter, Thurman, Spence. I think they all could lose to Bud. I think that a rematch with Thurman and Manny Pacquiao, I think Thurman gets Manny Pacquiao. I think that, and I think that he could beat him again. I don't think that nobody is. I think all of these guys could actually beat each other. I don't think nobody's head and shoulders above anybody. Anybody never showed me that. Sean Porter humbles everybody. Sean Porter will make this people be like, Sean Porter would get knocked out by if people think that Sean Porter's gonna get knocked out by Bud. What? Nah, man. Bud is gonna go through hell with Sean Porter. Through hell. He puts everybody through hell. Sean Porter is the guy that actually humbled everything. When you thought that Errol Spence was probably above shoulders everybody, Sean Porter humbled everybody. If you thought that Keith on top Thurman was head and shoulders above anybody, he humbled that up. He humbles everything. Nah, Punch Thurman got dropped by old Pac-Man. Yeah, I know he did get dropped by old Pac-Man, but this old Pac-Man is just not like any other old guy. Manny Pacquiao is not comparable. Manny Pacquiao is one of the greatest of all time. He's the 8th division world champion, 5 lineal. Manny Pacquiao is a freak of nature. I do not compare freak of nature. I do not compare Manny Pacquiao to a normal 40-year-old man. I do not. And I think that we shouldn't do that either. It's almost like LeBron James. LeBron James looked like he got 10 more years left to play. LeBron James looked like he got 10 more years of basketball in the NBA to play. Some people are just a freak of nature. Some people are that good. So I'd never be like, yo, Manny Pacquiao is the 40-year-old guy. I say that people are going to use that excuse if he gets knocked out by Bud. They're going to use the age. But this time, Manny Pacquiao was coming with having a layoff. Bud Crawford lives in the gym, y'all. Bud Crawford lives in the gym. And yeah, there was a flash knockdown too. And he came back in the second half. Sure, a judge gave it 115, 114, 113. Keith Thurman, he won the second half of that fight. LeBron waiting for his kids to get in the league. Yeah. I like Sean Porter over Spence. You could pick either one. That's what I'm saying. You could pick either one. But, so today in TBV, the boxing voice, shout out again to the boxing voice, Ness and the crew. Great interview. Would love to have Keith One Time Thurman here in the Drunky Nation, with your boy Mr. Moonshine. But I think that's a good fight and I think that's will be the best fight in Errol Spence's resume right now. I mean, if he can't get the Pacquiao, if he's not gonna fight Bud, Keith Thurman is the best name for Errol Spence. See, I'm gonna tell you like this: Errol Spence, back-to-back Porter and Daniel Garcia was great, but guess what? Keith Thurman did that in 2017. Keith Thurman already did the back-to-back. So technically, this is why I say, who has done more? Aside from Manny Pacquiao got to cement the legacy. We're not putting Manny Pacquiao. I don't even look. Manny Pacquiao got to cement the legacy. He's a walking Hall of Famer and everything of that nature. I'm talking about this generation right here with these guys. Who has done more than Keith One Time Thurman in the 147-pound division? I'm not saying that he did more than Errol Spence, but has Errol Spence done more than Keith One Time Thurman? If you see, Keith Thurman is only following the footsteps of Keith One Time. Errol Spence is only following the footsteps of Keith One Time Thurman. He beat Thurman beat Bundu, Spence beat Bundu. Thurman beat Porter, Spence beat Porter. Thurman beat Daniel Garcia back to back. Boom. Errol Spence did that. Ain't nobody doing substantially nothing more than Keith One Time Thurman. Have they? Somebody answer me. Come on. Has anybody in the welterweight division, aside from Manny Pacquiao, has done anything more substantially than Keith One Time Thurman? Has anybody accomplished more? No, I'm not. He ain't saying he done. When Thurman say he done, then I'm going to say he's done. Because people ain't talking about Manny Pacquiao done. Is Manny Pacquiao done? No. When was the last time Manny Pacquiao fought? Versus Keith One Time Thurman. So why is Thurman done and Manny Pacquiao not done? Nah. We got to keep it consistent, y'all. We got to keep it consistent. If Manny Pacquiao is not done and everybody's happy to see Bud Crawford versus Manny Pacquiao, then why people going to say that Keith Thurman is done? Did people say that Manny Pacquiao was done when he got knocked out by Marquez? He ain't done. People need to stop living the moment all the time. I know we all want to live the moment. But every time somebody get knocked out, they say they was done. How many times people thought that Manny Pacquiao was done? He came right back. People thought that Manny Pacquiao was never going to be the same after the Jeff Horn, right? Yeah, we all feel like he got robbed, but we all feel like he lost a step. Guess what? He wasn't done versus Keith One Time Thurman. So why when Thurman just lost one time, y'all? One time, now he's done. Oh my God, he got rocked by Josecito Lopez. He's only lost 2 rounds in that fight. He only got rocked one time in 1 round. It was 1 round. 1 round is not a fight. God damn, that 1 round made Josecito Lopez an elite fighter now. 1 round because the guy gets stumbled. Man, I'm all about when the fighters get hurt and see how they come back from that. Builds character. Wilder lose one time, he's done. No, just one time. This is why also these fighters don't give a damn about the fans. Because these guys will put their life on the line for pure entertainment, and people write them off one loss. Uno. One. This is why these guys run their career on eggshells. Maybe this is why Al Haymon does do and run his fighters the way he does. I can't put you in that fight because if you lose one time, the whole world writes you off. If you lose one time, the whole world writes you off. So you know what? Let me get you this money. Let me give you some easy fights because there's too many fans like that think because one loss to Manny Pacquiao, one of the greatest of all time, then Thurman is done. Mad Chad in the building. What's good, Mad Chad? Mad Chad, Mad Chad. Good looking out, Carlo. Yo, even when Errol Spence got in that car accident, people thought he was done. That he proved to the people that he wasn't done. Why are people trying to put that on other people? Damn. He does have weight. Yeah, he does got way too many injuries, but guess what? Other people got injuries too. Some people say it, some people don't. Some people adjust to their injuries. How many injuries did Deontay Wilder have? Deontay Wilder had a couple surgeries already. And you know what he was doing? He comes back. He'll have hand surgery. 5 months later, and he's back in the ring. Some people get injuries, bro, but some people fight through the same injuries. But remember what he said today, though. It's not injury that's holding him back. He said he's been good for a long time. He's been good for more than a year. That right now the problem is dates. They don't got no dates for him. All these PBC fighters, there's a lot of PBC fighters right now that's frustrated. They don't got no dates. Why? What is happening? Yeah, but he got a date. Errol had a car crash, recover, and still got in the ring before Keith. Yeah. It had nothing to do with the hands. But remember, this is what I mean. Sometimes, are we going to blame the fighters or are we going to blame Al? We got to pick who we going to blame. Because when it comes to Keith Thurman, it's Keith Thurman's fault. When it comes to Errol Spence and Bud Crawford, they're not making a fight or whatever, then it comes to Al Haymon's fault. Sometimes people want to blame Al. Some people want to blame the fighters. When it comes to Keith one-time Thurman, everything goes to Keith one-time Thurman. I never hear Keith Thurman, oh, this is Al Haymon's fault that he's not fighting this person. Everything is on Keith. When he's not fighting Errol Spence, it's on Keith. When it's Spence, then it becomes Bob Arum and Al Haymon. Then it becomes the Al Haymon thing. Then y'all shadow everything with Spence with Al Haymon. When it comes to Keith, it's always Keith. Always Keith. Like if Keith doesn't move when Al Haymon tells him to move. You think when Keith Thurman said, I gotta get my back up, my get back year, and I'm gonna fight Errol Spence in 2020. You don't think that's Al Haymon telling him that? You think it's just really Keith Thurman? I don't think so. I think it's Al Haymon too. Remember, he's manager, advisor, manager. Now, there's other people that got their managers and advisors. Let's say like Sean Porter. Kenny Porter is the manager. So he manages his career. But for certain fighters, Al Haymon is the manager and advisor of Keith one-time Thurman. He's manager and advisor to Errol Spence. But when they not fighting, it's all Keith. Ain't nobody looking at Al. Spence has done more. He collected more belts, about to get one more. He hasn't done more. Spence has done more. He collected more belts. How many belts has Darian Jones? How many belts have Keith Thurman collected? Significantly more. Has he done more significantly? Has he done more significantly more than Keith and Tom Thurman? I'm not saying that Keith Thurman done more, but you said Spence has more. He collected more belts. Keith Thurman collected 2 belts. The same belts that Errol Spence got right now, aside from the IBF, he had the WBA and the WBC. He unified with Danny Silva Garcia, right? Right? Now, you could say this. Thurman said 1 year, and when he got healthy, wasn't active. Now, you could say this, that he done more in terms of he defended the unification belts. He defended. That's doing more. He did more right there than Keith. Keith never got to defend his belts. Defend the unification belts. He defended his belt, but not the unification belts. Not as a unified champion. And again, his resume is Keith Thurman's resume. Keith Thurman has laid the blueprint for 3 of his opponents. Keith Thurman has laid the blueprint for the Danny Garcia. Has laid the blueprint for the Sean Porter. Has laid the blueprint for undefeated Berto. Not Berto, I'm sorry. Bundu. Brooke, good. He came from a loss. Good win. Even I didn't think that Brooke was prepared for that fight. The only reason that they took Brooke, even his trainer didn't want him to get that fight. Even Eddie Hearn didn't want to get him that fight. He already had weight problems. What fighter in the history of the sport, aside from Roy Jones Jr., what fighter in the history of the sport jumps 2 weight classes up, the next fight jumps 2 weight classes back down and wins a fight? He was already in a disadvantage. And I don't want to take nothing away from Earl. But with the surgery, barely sparred, barely trained really the way he was supposed to train. His whole training was to get down and shrink to 147 after ballooning up to 160. And everybody knows that he walk around in 190, almost 200 anyway. Punch, how do you think Thurman versus Virgil and this go? Tough fight for Thurman. That's a tough fight for Thurman. With Thurman, Virgil, he's gonna have a long night. I think that's I don't know where it goes right now. I really want to see what Thurman is at, to be honest. But right now, I got right now, Thurman. Right now, I think that Virgil T's been tested more, probably have the better opposition, but skillfully they're just. Virgil and Ennis they're gonna look good. They're gonna look great. I think Virgil and Thurman right now is more of a hard fight. I do like Boots Ennis, one of my favorite fighters right now. I do want to see after Sergey Lipinets, but I think it's a tough fight for Thurman, bro. It's a tough fight. I think those guys are a tough fight for anybody, to be honest. I think Boots Ennis, Southpaw as well, is a tough fight for Errol Spence. It's a tough fight for Bud. I think Virgil Ortiz and Ennis could already challenge the elite fighters right now, to be honest. Their skill set is just too much. Exactly, Jocelyn, exactly. Correct. Those are the facts. So this is what I say when people talk about Thurman's inactivity. So, okay, Thurman was inactive. But what and people was frustrated with Thurman. But what did anybody do when in his inactivity? Why nobody became undisputed? Why if Keith Tom Thurman only fought two times in the span of 4 years? Why nobody's done more than Keith? Why? He dropped the belt. Why did Errol fight Danny Garcia? It wasn't a mandatory. That was a voluntary bout that WBC gave him. They could have fought. Bud and Errol could have fought. Why they ain't fight? All I'm saying that I remember Keith Thurman got a lot of heat. He held the division down. He held it on hostage when he was injured and stuff like that. See, I think that's what it was, so that people just didn't respect it. People didn't care that he had surgery and was injured. People just really, really hated Keith Tom Thurman. When somebody else have injury, they have injury, you know what I'm saying? They want to let him come back. When Keith Thurman had injury, yeah, right. He just don't want to fight Spence. He's ducking Spence. Yeah, while he got a cast on. He's ducking Spence. Oh, he had a surgery. He's ducking Spence. Exactly, Raw Boxing TV. Everybody subscribe to Raw Boxing TV. You know why Thurman is hated? Because Thurman is too real for his own good. See, he does interviews and he tells you what will go down or what's planned, what wasn't planned. Since Al Haymon don't speak for them, he gotta speak. See, Earl is the type that he keep his mouth shut, but he know what's going on. This is why I always bring up. If you follow the channel, when we're talking about the Errol Spence and Keith Tom Thurman. When Keith Tom Thurman said, I ain't never seen no contract with Errol Spence on the table. Al Haymon never spoke to me about that, nor vice versa. You remember, go look back. Look back in the Erickson Lubin versus Charlo fight, in the post-fight interview when they had the press conference that they had, Keith Thurman and Errol Spence sitting on the table. Keith Thurman said, well, when people asked him about Errol Spence, that fight when Errol Spence was trying to say that, everybody, nobody want to get the call, nobody want to fight me or whatever, and Keith Thurman said, I ain't never seen a contract with Errol Spence's name, and vice versa. Errol Spence didn't say nothing after that. You know why? Because that's the real truth. That's the real truth. This is why I like when Thurman talks. This is why I like. When it came with this Bud and Thurman stuff, who sent the contract to who? Who sent it? Keith sent it. And Keith said today again, it's not $10 million. Who said that $10 million BS? But people want to believe what they want to believe. I told people from the beginning, you don't send no $10 million. Where y'all get that garbage from? But you know what? He sent the contract, meaning, or the terms, he sent it. They didn't want to negotiate. They want to kill Brooke. When somebody wants something, you send a contract or you send a term sheet. You send something in writing. You have your representative send something to their representative. That's the real call out in boxing. And the only guy that I seen when we talking about Bud Crawford, Errol Spence, and Keith Thurman, I seen Keith send that to Bud. Twice. Facts, rap star. Facts. Facts. Look, he said, Raw Boxing TV, Thurman looking for lung cancer, waiting on, man, Thurman wants to fight now. What's happening? Oh, now, Errol Spence, I ain't going to fight him because when I wanted to fight him, when you wanted to fight him, when you wasn't even top 15, when Floyd Mayweather gave you that clout. Because Thurman was calling out Floyd. Thurman was calling out Floyd, and then Floyd used Errol Spence as a roadblock. Hey, you want to fight me? Got to fight him. That's the first call out. Errol Spence was not in position for that fight. Errol Spence got in position. Oh, when I was calling you, was not even in the WBC nor the WBA ranking. Errol Spence was always in the IBF. He was not looking. He was not looking for these guys. He already had a plan. Al Haymon already had a plan in the IBF route. And anyway, if Errol Spence was calling out all these guys, why did he fight Danny Garcia? Why he fight Danny Garcia? Because you was calling all of them out at one time. Nobody wanted to fight you. Remember, Danny Garcia had the WBC strap. You called out Danny Garcia. But when it comes to Keith one-time Thurman, I don't want to fight him because when I was calling him out, he didn't want to fight me. You was calling everybody out. You fought Sean Porter, right? Errol Spence fought Sean Porter. Errol Spence fought Danny Garcia. But when it comes to Keith one-time Thurman, when it comes to Keith one-time Thurman,
you better not duck me, son. You better not duck me, son.
Yeah. Now probably hearing people probably saying that, yo, Keith one-time Thurman, he's saying he's 100%. He's like, wait. He 100%? Ah, shit. I don't know. Joey, Mr. Moonshot, spin fact, Latino, stand up, Latino in the building. Good looking out. God bless you, Joey. Not just Latino. Punch for all the fans. UK, London. For my Africans, for my Asians, for my Indian, for my Middle East, from the north, from the east, from the south, from the heavens. Everywhere except the people in hell. Everywhere, baby. Everywhere. Punches for the people. Mr. Moonshine, a.k.a. Mr. Adobo, a.k.a. El Sazón, a.k.a. Borracho. Señores y señora. One race. Brothers and sisters of the Most High. Brothers and sisters, sons and daughters of the Most High. Ish. So, happy hour Thursday. Y'all already know. Let's send the link. I ain't gonna be here for too long, but I feel like I want to chop it up with the people. Let's chop it up. Let's go. Oh shit. Did I send it? Let's go. Let's chop it up, man. Let's chop it up. Who want to jump? Who want to have some fun? Want to play rough? Huh? Okay. Pancho in the building. Pancho.
Dennis told me. Dennis let us know. Said it never means me. Had him at the bone. What do you mean? Spin me when I'm low. Dennis started show man. 2019.
Pancho! You already know it's still happy hour Thursday up in this ish. I'm on the road, damn. I'm on the rodeo show. Hold on, son. Let me put Pancho. Let me get a glass of water, man. Let me get a glass of water.
Anyway, Dennis told me. Dennis let us know. Said it never means me. Had him at the bone. What do you mean? Spin me when I'm low. Dennis started show man. 2019.
Pancho canta Pancho del OG, the OG. April 10th, we got Conor Ben Conor Ben gonna be fighting Samuel Vargas in a good step-up fight. Conor Ben, one of the phenom in the sport of boxing. Conor Ben, check him out. April 10th, next week. It's gonna be lit, because then after that, we got Boots Ennis, Brotherly Love, Philadelphia, Jerome Boots Ennis versus Sergey Lipinets. Yo, that's gonna be a good fight. I think they're fighting for the IBO. Yo, I think they're fighting for the IBO. Not sure if they're not, but it will be good if they're fighting for the IBO, because the IBO rankings, to be honest, man, I want the IBO to replace the WBC. I want the IBO to replace the WBC. Who also? Who else? You got Boots next week. This week, you got Jamal Herring. You got Frampton. Tú sabes. De lo mío. De lo mío, de lo mío, Diablo, no acabo de poner esta vaina. Joey, it says device is not connected. It says device not connected. Try again, bro. Pancho versus Pacquiao in the karaoke. Yo, that'd be a doubt, Yo, that would be classic right there. Pancho versus Pacquiao. Pacquiao, if you listening, Pancho is ready to go. I think that's one. I think Pancho is pound for pound king of the karaoke. I mean, if I can't even keep up with Pancho, I don't know Manny Pacquiao. I know Manny Pacquiao's world renowned karaoke king. But Pancho, I don't know about that, son. He said, Ray, let's get man. He don't want that work, man. He good in the mother channels. He good. God bless them. I've been saying that pun replace WBC with the IBO. Yeah, man. I think we're gonna do that. I like the IBO, man. Let's replace the IBO. Let's us fans recognize what we want to recognize, man. Amongst the sanctioning bodies. I know, right? I know. But look at the IBO ranking, bro. Look at the IBO ranking. IBO ranking. And look at their champions, man. Look at their champions. You got Anthony Joshua. You got Manny Serrano. You got Terry Harper. You got Jessica McCaskill. You got Triple G. Erickson. It's Islandi Lara. You got a couple of good names with the IBO, bro. Vacant in the welterweight division. Let Boots get that. That's gonna be a good fight though for Boots. So also want to talk about this as well. I got to talk about this as well. I did in one of my last videos, and also I want to preserve the veterans in the sport of boxing as well. I think a lot of people ain't talking about the veteran in the sport of boxing, but it's the sport of boxing, which we like to throw boxers away for anything. But there's a lot of guys right now on the shelf. They have not retired, bro. They still trying to take care of their family. They still trying to fight, and I think that we got to share light on them too. We try to share, the Luis Calazos of the world. The Luis Calazos of the world. Hold on, guys. Give me one second. Hold on. Let me get this, y'all. We're gonna have some fun. Rap Star Boxing Knowledge! UK, London!
What's going on, my brethren, man? You ain't going to get the same energy out of me today. I got a wisdom tooth pain, but I'm here to support you. What's going on, bruv?
Also, you've been spitting a lot of wisdom to the people that even your teeth is getting on. You know, the wisdom is coming out of them tooth. I feel you, my brother. I feel you.
Hey, salute to you and salute to the chat, man. What are we cooking? I mean, we're cooking who's chasing the legacy right now?
Yo, we're chasing luck. The biggest fight in the PBC, I think, is still Thurman versus Spence. In the PBC band, I'm not talking about crossover promotions. I'm not talking about Wilder versus Fury. That's crossover promotion. I'm not talking about Spence versus Bud. That's crossover promotions. I said aside Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao got to cement the legacy. He's always going to be big. But I think that even with Benavidez and Caleb Plant, I think Thurman and Spence is still a bigger fight. Who else? Who you think is a bigger fight?
I mean, if you're looking at the PBC stable only within the PBC, I do think Benavidez versus Caleb Plant is a big fight. I think Jamal Charlo, not Jamal Charlo versus Castino, and Jamal Charlo versus Benavidez is a big fight. But
no, when I say big fight, no, those are big fight, of course, undisputed. I'm talking about big fight in terms of money, the big money fight.
Maybe Keith Thurman and Errol Spence might be the biggest fight then.
I think I got that as the biggest fight. The most accomplishable fight is Castaño versus Charlo. But I don't even think that Jamal Charlo and Castaño is bigger, like it's gonna get the views or it's gonna get pay-per-view buys. It's not gonna get more pay-per-view buys than David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. I don't think so. You think?
And we gotta remember something. Keith Thurman was the guy who beat the guys that Errol Spence has been beating after him. Keith Thurman beat those guys in their prime when they were undefeated, right, Moonshine?
Yes,
I mean, we're talking about Sean Porter and we're talking about Danny Garcia when those guys were more killers in their prime. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can say, look, I'm an Errol Spence fan, but you can say that Errol's been fighting Keith's leftovers. You can say that.
True.
So it'll make a big, big fight. I think Keith Thurman, Errol Spence is still a huge fight. But, you know, they don't want to cook it for too long because then it'll just be one of those fights that people are going to be like, fuck that shit, bro.
Yeah, man. But keep going. So, yeah, I do think so. I do think that's a big fight. And I do think that that's the best name in Errol Spence's resume.
Well, I mean, you can say that, but you can also look at that when he fought Kell Brook was still undefeated at welterweight, right? Mm-hmm. And if you remember, Kell Brook was number 1 at the time. So it just depends what way you look at it. But Keith Thurman will definitely be one of the biggest names for Errol Spence Jr. for sure. And
I just think that he was just. I don't want to take it. I don't want to take that win away like that. But I just think that he was just too damaged, bro. It was just too damaged. And in that sense that, okay, a person could have surgery or whatever and be damaged, but is his trainer didn't even want him to fight that fight. He had weight problems already. He didn't have sparring to prepare for Errol Spence because they wanted to watch the eye. Also, he needed to shrink back down to 147. Nobody in the history of boxing, in the history of 100+ year sport of the Queensberry of boxing, came down 2 weight classes back down and won a fight.
You know,
can you name me a name? Because look, it's a lot of history. But can anybody tell me, other than Roy Jones Jr. when he went to heavyweight and came back down? Look how Roy Jones Jr. looked. How did Roy Jones Jr. look? That messed up his whole career. That messed up everything for Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, an athlete can't just go up in weight and come back to compete at a much lower weight where he was at his best. Because you know and I know, Moonshine, when you start putting on weight and you start trying to get back to where you were, it's very hard for you to be where you were at because of the weight gain and what you've done in order to train to fight in a heavier weight. It's not easy for any athlete to do that, Moonshine.
Facts.
You know? But I will say this. I think Keith Thurman, between me and you, he came back too early after his injury with Josito Lopez. I also think Keith Thurman has not been the same since that injury, since that operation. I just don't see Keith Thurman the same. I've seen him slacking in Josito Lopez. We saw him slacking with Manny Pacquiao. Do you think that's a lot to do with the wear and tear as he's got older, the injuries? I mean, what do you think about that?
I think it's done. I think it's been a wear and tear. He's been fighting. He said, if he's been, he's been boxing since the age of 7, so that's a lot of wear and tear on the hands. I think he has a lot of hands problem. I think he's trying to adjust. He's trying to adjust to a style that he's still having problems to adjusting. You see, like a guy like Floyd Mayweather had to adjust because he had brittle hands. He said the last time he went, and his father was talking about it once before. Once he went all out versus Gotti, that's it. His hands was really not the same after that. He had to change his weight. You know what I'm saying? He had to change, had to be more defensive. The older he got, he had extra padding on his gloves, to protect his hands. So he had to change a little bit of his strategy. And Floyd could do it, but I don't think that Thurman could do it. But even with the Josecito Lopez fight, I think that everybody's so stuck on when he got hurt. They so stuck that they forget that he won almost every round of that fight. Also, he knocked down Josecito Lopez in the second round with a check left hook moving backwards. Imagine if he would have ended the fight right there, what people's gonna say?
Yeah, but I think the problem is, my brethren, you see Errol Spence, right, and Crawford and these guys, you don't see them in vulnerable positions with fighters like that. You get what I mean?
Oh.
You saw Keith Thurman, he looked vulnerable.
But he always in vulnerable position. He's been in vulnerable position. In the beginning of his career, he got knocked down. Yeah. He got vulnerable. He got hurt and wobbled by Soto Carras in the first round. He got hurt by the body by Luis Collazo. He got hurt by Manny Pacquiao. People think that Porter hurt him with the body. He's always getting hurt. But it's not about getting hurt. It's character. It's how you come back up. It's what you do when you do get hurt. Anybody would get knocked down by the body shot of Manny Pacquiao. That body shot that he landed, everybody else would have said that. How many guys that we seen sit down on body shots? How many people have we seen in the past years quit on the stool, just quit on the ground? This guy's telling me, yes, he gets hurt. Keith Thurman, yes, he gets hurt. But what does he do after? What did he do that 11th round after the 10th round? What he do after that round versus Josecito Lopez? What he do after the Soto Carras? He shows me character. He shows me that he could sustain being hurt. See, the scary, not the scary person, but I'm saying the guy that's actually not the scary person. I don't know what word to find, but when you hit somebody with your best shot and they stand up, that's a guy that's like, all right, man, you gonna have to, this guy is not gonna lay down for nobody. Has Keith Thurman ever been stopped?
No.
So put it down. I want to ask you a quick. We all boxing guys, right? They say that Keith. They say, for example, does Danny Garcia got a chin?
Yeah, Moonshine. I'm sorry, my brother. I lost you there, bro.
Does Danny Garcia got a chin?
Danny Garcia has a granite chin.
Exactly. They say granite chin. Why do they say he got a granite chin?
Because he can absorb. He's got a very good resistance.
Has he been hurt before?
I haven't really seen Danny Garcia hurt.
Did Keith Thurman get Danny Garcia in the first round?
He gave him a little, yeah. I mean,
in the first one or third, yeah, I think it was the first round, yeah.
Yeah,
remember?
I know, but he wasn't really hurt, Moonshine. I just think he was just, he got a shot.
He was hurt.
Back.
He was hurt.
Okay.
Did Luis Matisse hurt him?
Luis Matisse hurt Garcia?
Yeah.
Man, I can't remember, Moonshine.
Okay, but look at this. Danny Garcia gets chin checked. He get almost hurt and wobbled. He got a grenade chin though. But Keith Thurman gets hurt to the body. He stays up, but he's weak to the body. Can you explain that logic to me?
See, my thing is this with Keith Thurman, which you haven't really broke that down for me, is that Keith Thurman's fighting style is a one-way fighting style. He throws bombs. The thing with Keith Thurman, he relies on his punching power. he doesn't have a different way of fighting. Errol Spence can fight two ways. Errol Spence can fight coming forward. Errol Spence can fight in the pocket, and Errol Spence can also box. I think Keith Thurman just relies on his bombs too much. And I think he puts himself in a position where he's vulnerable because Keith Thurman, he swings from wild punches, bro. He's coming for all that.
I disagree. I disagree, Rap Star. Have you been watching Keith Thurman much?
Yeah, man. I mean, Keith Thurman to me,
so who got better footwork? Keith Thurman or Errol Spence?
I mean, Keith Thurman's got good footwork. You can't take that away from him. He got good footwork, but he relies on his punching power. They rely on punching power. I think that Errol Spence got a better jab. He got a better jab than Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman was never Errol
a
Spence
great
punches
jab.
much harder to the body than Keith Thurman.
You think so?
I think Errol Spence is a great body puncher.
How many knockouts does Errol Spence got going to the body?
But you got to remember this, Moonshine. You know the knockouts.
Come on, Rastar, I'm getting. No. Don't you run away from my question. How many?
Let me answer. He breaks them down slowly. He breaks them to the body, to the head, to the body, to the head. He doesn't just rely on going on the, to the head. Errol Spence is a great body puncher. He breaks them down.
So Errol Spence is more of a break you down fighter, and Keith Thurman is more of a knockout puncher, a one shot knockout puncher.
I mean, he used to be one-time Thurman until he stepped up his caliber of opponents. But
just like Errol Spence, he could have knocked out Mikey Garcia, could have knocked out Porter, could have knocked out Danny Garcia, right?
Well, let me ask everyone this: whose fight was more convincing, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, or Errol Spence's win against Sean Porter?
I think I think Keith Thurman did a slightly better job with Porter than Errol Spence did with Porter.
But they were in for a war. They were both in for a war.
I think Ugas sustained. I think Ugas did better than both of them versus Sean Porter.
Yeah, I don't think Sean Porter got up for that fight with Ugas like he did with Thurman and Errol Spence.
No, this is what I'm saying. I think. See, for me, Errol Spence always been a break you down fighter, but Thurman been a one shot. He hit you to the body one shot like he did to Diego Chavez. Hit him with one shot, boom, you on the floor. Think about it. He retired and cracked Julio Diaz ribs. He cracked Carlos Quintana's ribs. What's his name? Not Berto. What's his name? The guy that
Luis Palazzo?
No. The one that they both fought. Bundu. They asked Bundu. They asked Bundu who got more power. He says Keith Thurman. When Keith Thurman hits you,
stop it, Moonshine. Stop it. Errol Spence put Bundu out the ring and put him to sleep.
So you're gonna believe what you believe, or you're gonna say? Oh, no, you're gonna say?
Come on.
He said. But look at. He said when Keith Thurman. This is what Bundu said. This is not what I said.
Yeah, but I think Bundu's holding a grudge.
When Bundu said when Keith Thurman hit me, it sent shockwaves through my body. See this, but there's a difference. When you knock out somebody, it's not necessarily that it's power. It's a punch that you didn't see. He saw Keith Thurman's power, and remember, Keith Thurman when he knocked out Bundu in the first round or the first round, he switched to southpaw to knock him down. So Keith Thurman switches. I seen Keith Thurman switch. I see Keith Thurman knocked out people in the back. I see people out. I see Keith Thurman bang, and outbox fighters. So I think in the first thing you said, I think that Errol Spence to me, he fights one way to me.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna make a statement.
Errol Spence
Bundu is a liar. He's a fucking liar, bro. That's it. Bundu is holding grudges against Errol Spence. He's a fucking liar. Errol Spence put him to sleep. Nobody has put Bundu to sleep like Errol Spence did.
But that's what Bundu said though. So if I say I understand you. I understand your logic. But if Bundu said when this guy hits me, he sends shockwaves to me. There's certain fight. There's certain.
Well,
times.
Gary Russell Jr. said that he can beat Terrence Crawford. Do you think anybody fucking believes Gary Russell?
No, I don't believe it.
Yeah, Bundu's talking shit, bro. Errol Spence.
Yeah, I said it, man. I said he fights one way.
Yeah.
I say Errol Spence fights not one way in terms of he can't box and then he can't slug. Yeah, Errol Spence could slug. He could box. What I'm saying in terms of that for me, Errol Spence is more predictable than Keith and Bud. See, Bud switches. You don't know.
Yeah,
Keith Thurman switches. But no, you could disagree, but he's showing you that though.
Yeah.
He's showing you that.
You know, one thing what Errol Spence showed me that he can fight in different ways is because if he chooses to box, he can box. If he chooses to be in a dogfight, he can be in a dogfight. Errol Spence has a couple of gifts that people are not giving him credit for, just like Tank Davis. Tank Davis has great boxing ability, but he doesn't get the credit. You know what I mean? I think people are shitting on Errol Spence because of that one close fight.
Man, nobody's shitting on Earl. Everybody shits on Thurman. Nobody shits on Earl. Who shits on Earl?
But don't you think Thurman did it to himself a little bit?
Why? Because he got injured? This is what I mean. When Thurman gets injured, it's fuck Thurman and his injuries and his surgeries. When everybody else does it, I think that this hatred going on Thurman. You know why this has some hatred against Thurman? It's because Thurman went after a lot of dudes that got a lot of large fan base.
Well, let me ask you a question then, as a boxing fan. Who's got a better stamina? Keith one-time Thurman or Errol the Truth Spence?
Both.
I think Errol's got a little bit better stamina. I've seen Keith Thurman gas out sometimes in a fight where he has to take time out, bro. I've seen that.
What fight is that?
Keith Thurman.
Which fight was that?
Errol Spence.
Which fight was that?
Many fights.
Which fight? Which fight?
Yeah, but you look at Manny Pacquiao, he was getting gassed out.
Which fight?
But you look at Manny Pacquiao, he was getting gassed out. He had to take time out even in Danny Garcia's fight. You see Keith Thurman, he does gas out. He's got a gas tank problem. And I've seen that in his not early in the career, but as he was lifting himself up.
So
he takes time out, bro.
Who won the second round? Who won the second half of the Manny Pacquiao fight? Thurman or Pacquiao?
I mean, Thurman was a bit more competitive in the second half.
So that means he has stamina.
No, he does, but you can see that he also has that issue where he goes all out sometimes. Am I right? He does go all out, and then he has to, you know what I mean? You can see sometimes he goes a bit too aggressive, and he has to hold back. I
think that is a 12-round bout, and some people pick and choose some position to go to slug and box and go on the outside. I don't see where he got more stamina than we seen that. Does he got stamina versus Diego Chavez? That he has stamina versus who else? He beat Bundle in every round. He beat Danny Swift Garcia. He started boxing. He wasn't slugging Danny Swift Garcia.
So let me ask it nicer then. Who wastes shots? Like Errol Spence, to me, he uses his punches a bit more wisely. And
let me ask this: the Sean Paul and Thurman fight, did Thurman got tired in the end, or he took over after the 10th round?
No, when he takes a little bit of time out, he can come back. Thurman's got a good recovery.
I think that Errol Spence work rate is more than Thurman's.
Okay.
I think he throws more punches. I think his punches doesn't his power doesn't increase. We've seen it versus Porter. But I think that with that shot right there was not about much of power. It was an exchange. Porter didn't see that punch. And Porter did remember. Porter really didn't sat down. His gloves touched the canvas. Let's not forget that too. It's not like he dropped them. His glove touched the canvas and they called it a knockdown.
Yeah, I mean, again, right, we got to look at this. Where are these fighters today? You know what I mean? Keith Thurman, mentally, where is he? You know, you look at Keith Thurman, sometimes he looks a little bit depressed. I mean, is he mentally recovered after his loss with Manny Pacquiao? Also got to remember that.
I don't know. That's the point. We don't know. We don't know where they at. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. It's just like we didn't know. Just like we didn't know where Errol Spence was at after the car crash. Everybody, there was people why people wanted to see that fight? Because we didn't know where Errol Spence was at, mentally or physically. So we don't know. They don't tell us everything, and they're not gonna tell us everything. Even if Thurman is already coming to a fight injured, he's not gonna tell the whole world that he's injured.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we really don't know. We see in Styles, I see. See, this is what I see when some people talk about Josecito Lopez fight. Be like, yeah, he got hurt that round. Okay, but with that type of layoff, he should have been out with all those punches that Josecito Lopez landed. Thurman landed more jabs that he ever landed in his career, and Thurman threw more punches ever that he landed in his career. Thurman threw almost 900 punches that fight.
Hey, no one's disagreeing with you. I think that is the biggest fight in the welterweight division after Bud Crawford and Manny Pacquiao. I think the biggest fight is Errol Spence and Keith one-time Thurman. It's a huge fight, and it's still a big fight. I just favor Errol Spence right now because I think the best of Keith Thurman was before his injury. I might be wrong, right? But again, you remember when one time Keith Thurman had that, you know what I mean? He was at the momentum. He was beating everybody. And, you know, let's not forget, is Keith Thurman the same? But Errol Spence's momentum is up.
Oh, yeah,
Errol
yeah.
Spence
See,
is up.
that's different. Who wins is a totally different question. Now, anybody could pick Spence. That's more. I think that's more fair to say than probably Thurman beating Spence because Thurman is not seasoned right now. So that right there, that's a whole different. Who wins is a whole different question. Oh, my thing is, I think this is a bigger fight. This is the biggest and more. It was more of a money fight to PBC. And why I'm talking about this is because I know that PBC only cares about the money, really. So Ugas and Spence is a bigger, more accomplishable fight for it's more of an accomplishable fight than a Thurman than Spence. But a bigger fight is still Spence and Thurman.
Yeah. But, you know, you said something that no welterweight is separating themselves apart like the Mayweathers did, like the Sugar Ray Leonards had, and like the legacy fighters that have done it before in the past. Is it because, what do you think's the problem in the welterweight division? Do you think nobody's as good as the Mayweathers, the Sugar Ray Leonards?
Nah, I don't think that. I think that there's that they are good where there is real competition. There's real competition. We don't know who's really better. You gonna have some Keith Thurman people. They're gonna be like, yo, Keith Thurman could beat Errol Spence. You got the Errol Spence. That Errol Spence could beat Keith Thurman. You're gonna have that Bud could beat Spence. You're gonna have that Spence could beat Bud. In their performances, did Thurman beat Porter? Did he really was there really separation in that fight? Nah. How about Spence and Porter? Nah. How about Danny and Porter? Nah. How about Ugas and Porter? Nah. How about I'm not even want to name because Manny Pacquiao's already cemented legacy, but you add Manny Pacquiao and Thurman, it was still it was a split decision. Everything was split decision. Split decision Porter and Spence, split decision Thurman and Danny, in which I do believe that Thurman actually did beat Danny. Like that was no split decision, but it was a split decision, right? It ain't Thurman didn't he cooled down he started boxing in the second half when he did have him hurt in the first and the third round. And he couldn't capitalize. He couldn't put those punches together so he could just get him out of there.
Yeah.
But then when you see Thurman, and then when you see Danny Silva Garcia versus Errol Spence could have knocked him down.
Well, let me ask you a question. A prime Miguel Cotto. What do you think prime Miguel Cotto does with Errol Spence?
They'll go to war too.
They're going to war.
They're going to war. Ain't nobody. I'm not even. If anybody be like, oh, what these guys would do, like they asked him earlier, what would you think Trinidad would do? Trinidad got knocked down in a lot of his fights. I think that he'll lose to one of these guys too. He's not invincible. None of these guys is invincible. Yeah,
but it just goes to show us how prime Manny Pacquiao would have beaten all these guys. A prime Manny Pacquiao.
Maybe he did get knocked out by Marquez. Maybe. And look, people felt that Timothy Bradley was a robbery, but I looked at that fight like a couple of months ago. That was a tough fight. That was no easy, like, oh my God, robbery. No, Timothy Bradley was laying hands on Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao won, but it wasn't easy for Manny Pacquiao. It was not easy.
You know, even when I watched De La Hoya's old fights, De La Hoya was on another level.
No, De La Hoya, to me, prime, I think he beat everybody. De La Hoya in his prime beats everybody, in my opinion, the welterweight division.
So do you think boxing hasn't, you think the boxers we got today, the evolution of the boxers are not that greater than the ones that we've had in the past with the legends?
No.
Yeah, but how can you say that? You got Floyd Mayweather as a 5-weight world champion. You've got Manny Pacquiao as 8.
I mean, you're talking about as a welterweight, or just
but
as a fighter,
achievements, just as achievements as a boxer. You got Floyd,
I mean,
yeah,
but it's also not fair. Remember, it's only one Floyd Mayweather. That doesn't mean there was a bunch of Floyd Mayweathers in
Oscar
there.
De La Hoya was a 6-weight world champion, unless you want to correct me.
No, yeah, but I'm just saying they move different. These PBC guys don't move like they move.
But how are they ever going to chase greatness like those guys who've left them the blueprint? I mean, how are you ever going to get close to those guys then?
They're not chasing them. That's the thing. If they was chasing them, they will be fighting right now, but they're not chasing them. I don't think that's, and this is what I was saying earlier, that I don't think that with PBC and with Al Haymon, he's not looking at for legacy for them, and they're not looking for legacy either. Keith Thurman today in the interview was saying that he's been good. He don't have no injuries. He's been good for a long time.
But what do you think about the subscribers? Some of the subscribers say that it's watered down today, a little bit more watered down than what it was before.
Yeah, but that's because of they don't got no dates. They got a whole new business plan for these fighters, and it's all about getting them. Is all about getting the type of money. That's it.
Yeah, but then how are you ever going to become one of those legends close to the Oscar De La Hoyas, the Floyd Mayweathers, the Sugar Ray Leonards? How are you going to? They not trying to beat them. What's good, Ranger? Raw Boxing TV. What's good?
Raw Boxing TV, World Star, Rap Star, Punch. What's up, my people?
What's good? I was about to shut it down right quick, man.
Do your thing, man. Do your thing.
No, you got. Want to say anything that we were talking about? Yo, Rap Star, you going to your channel next?
We can do, but I need someone for 10 minutes to host. I've got something to do. I mean, do people want to go live again?
I don't know. Of course, people want to go live, man.
Raw Boxing, what's going on, bro?
Not much, man. Just arriving home here, man.
Gotcha,
almost
got
died
you,
last
bro.
night. Almost got robbed and everything, bro.
I told you stop talking ish about certain boxers. They're gonna come after you, man.
Hey, man, shouts out to the people in Jackson, Mississippi. Rough town, but we was over there doing some things last night. I'm just arriving home right now. And, hey, man, the one thing I wanted to say was this. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. When it comes to Errol Spence, which is a fighter that I really like, has grown a lot. I mean, when it comes to Bud Crawford, obviously we know the situation with Bud Crawford. Those are all good fighters, right? But the difference on this between them and Keith Thurman is, for some awkward reason, Keith Thurman was the welterweight that held the division, the number one guy at welterweight at one point for a very long time, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of people cutting him the slack that they're cutting Spence. I don't remember people cutting him the slack that they've been cutting Bud Crawford. I personally believe, because how fearless he is to express his feelings, the very things he's not agreeing with. And obviously, when you go after the powers that be, the name says it all, right? They got the power. They can easily control the way people see you in the public view. You see Keith Thurman getting all this hate, but at the end of the day, I just ask people, what has Keith Thurman said that isn't entirely true when it comes to these issues? And I could patiently wait on the answer. I honestly don't think I will get a real legit answer, because as boxing fans, we like to complain. We're not getting the fights we want to see. This fighter stuck in this. Fighters ain't trying to fight for legacy, but we got to Keith Thurman that's been sending out paperwork to basically whoever. We got to Keith Thurman that even through his injuries came back, and yes, he lost to Pacquiao. A lot of people thought it was a lot closer than that. But this is a fighter that has been giving us what we want to see, which is trying to go after the best.
Facts.
Why is it that this fighter is not getting the same love that Bud Crawford is getting? Why is it that this fighter is not getting the same love that Spence is getting? I don't understand today's boxing fan. I really don't.
I don't understand. I don't understand either. When Spence fights Porter. When Spence fights Porter back to back, Porter and Denisov Garcia, he's getting praise. When Thurman did, when he fought Porter then Denisov Garcia, then he shows up in the Barclays Center and now people booing him and telling and saying all this stuff. I don't get it. But yo, shout out to New Media Today, USA Boxing in the building. What's good? Everybody subscribe to New Media Today, USA Boxing. Coach Manikai Williams in the building. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the channel. Great channel out there. Everybody subscribe to his channel. Inmediatamente, coñazo. Inmediatamente, dije yo.
Hey, my problem is this, Raw Boxing. I think if you lose in today's climax with the fans that we got today, you saw what they did to Lomachenko. Lomachenko was God. He was white Jesus. Until he lost, nobody fucking talks about Lomachenko anymore. But he's a hype job. He was overhyped. You see, the problem is today, right? They're not like before when Sugar Ray Leonard lost, Hitman Hearns lost, Roberto Duran lost. It wasn't a big thing. But today, it seems like a huge thing. It seems like a situation where the fans put you behind the queue.
But look, rap star, I don't want to start a new dialogue. I gotta shut it down. We gonna go to Rap Star Boxing Knowledge, right? Rap Star, UK Boxing 47, UK 47. Where we going?
If we're gonna keep it raw, we're going to UK 47. I don't care if that gets shut down. But if we're gonna keep it chilled and humble, we're going to Rap Star.
All right, so we go. So where you want it, humble or raw?
Well, I got today, so let's go humble.
Humble. So we going to Rap Star Boxing Knowledge.
Rap Star Boxing Knowledge.
So everybody right now, go to Rap Star Boxing Knowledge. Subscribe. We're going to go live right now. Rap Star Boxing Knowledge. And I got to shut this one down. We're going to go Rap Star Boxing Knowledge right now. Everybody subscribe to Raw Boxing TV. Range in the building. Raw Boxing TV. Subscribe. Yo,
Shall I put the link in the chat?
Put the link in the chat. Hurry up. Put the link in the chat. Put the link in the chat.
Hey guys, peace. I'll be watching. Should be home in a little bit. I know you guys are not hearing me right because.
Yeah, I don't hear you. You hear mad low, like if you're like miles away.
Exactly. So it's not even worth me keep jumping. So I'll just keep listening as a fan, man.
All right, my brother. God bless. God bless. Everybody, yo, let's go to Rap Star Boxing Knowledge channel. Right now, he gonna go live. Gonna finish chopping it up. Damn, Punch, I missed those 10-hour streams. We're gonna do that tomorrow. Tomorrow, 5:36 p.m. Eastern time. We got the phenom in the sport of boxing in the welterweight division, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna be coming and join us. He's gonna join us in the channel, Punch Run Boxing. He's gonna join me. We're gonna do an interview with Jerome Boots Ennis. 5:36 p.m. Eastern time. Let's go. Tomorrow, Jerome Boots Ennis preparing to fight Sergey Lipinets next week. But tomorrow, Friday, we got Jerome Boots Ennis here in Punch Run Boxing. We're going to be chopping it up. Everybody subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button right now. Prepare tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. Jerome Boots Ennis, Mr. Moonshine, going to be chopping it up. Let's go.